Hey, hey, Jesse.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. You guys finally at the house?
We are at the house. It's yeah. Let's not go there.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're back. We're back in though, so at least we have that going. But yeah, you'll see where. So right now, where we have him in our upstairs closet, there's no carpet right there. And our contractor gave us this king size bed. We had a queen size bed before, and so we normally had him in the room with us because there was enough space. And now that we added this bathroom to the bedroom, we've lost a lot of space. So right now he's in the closet is where we have his cage.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about keeping his cage on in a different room? I know he ever since we've had him, his cage has always been in the same room with us.
Yeah, don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I've had people if the dog yaps a lot, I'll tell them to put if they have a home with a basement and stuff. I'll put the dog in the basement, close the door so you can't hear them resonating throughout the home. He technically shouldn't care. If he's too used to being in the room with you, I could potentially see some barking or protesting. But with the e-collar, we'll be able to address that. So.
Yeah, he's definitely not a barker. If he didn't like it, he'd probably just be sad. He wouldn't tell us.
Yeah.
So we won't know.
Have you seen any of the behavior that we, are going to address? Have you seen it yet? Was it the kennel stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much.
Tonight, you mean? Have we seen it yet tonight?
No, just since you've been back in.
Oh yeah, it's every night. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's all right. Good. It's just because sometimes it sucks because when I work with clients, it's almost a guarantee until the day we go to work on it, and the dog doesn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like taking your car to the mechanic and it stops making that knocking noise that it always makes.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
His tail's already on edge and he's uncertain. So.
Okay. So he's got his collar on. So there's a couple of ways of approaching this.
Okay.
Does he resist going in the kennel at all or no?
No, he doesn't resist going in there at all.
He just pops in there.
Just having it shut.
Just having the door shut is when he'll start he'll start barking and growling before that. So we haven't been shutting it. So that's another good thing why he's in the closet too, is because we can just shut the closet door without having to put our hands near the kennel door.
Sure.
So,
let's go ahead and leash him up. And I saw the e-collar. Does he have a standard flat collar as well?
He does. Yep, it's on him.
It's on him. Okay, so let's go ahead and clip that leash to that flat collar.
Okay. Jenny's taking care of that.
What's his number been?
Oh gosh,
8.
Yeah, between 8 and 11.
Okay, and I guess let's pop him in the kennel and see what we get.
Okay. Do what?
Come on, Bo. You need to go first, Nate, and make sure James is in your room.
Okay. Hold on. How do you want me to be holding the camera? On him the whole time?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, she's in her room. Hold on.
Is that carpet?
Yes. Hey.
Oops. Oh gosh,
okay, in your home, buddy. In your home.
Hey, Jaden, get in your room, hon.
Okay, so then here, when you go to close the gate is when we would anticipate to see the aggressive response. Is that correct?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, so tap, tap, tap.
Oh gosh, I don't have it on me right now.
It's okay. Tap.
Let me get it up to, it's on 7, so.
tap, tap.
There we go.
All right, so you're gonna keep tapping, tap, and then use your leash to guide him back in the kennel. Tap.
Okay, come on. In your home, buddy. In your home.
Tap.
Let's go. In your home.
Tap, tap,
Oh,
tap,
in your home. In your home.
Come on,
tap,
in your home.
tap,
In your home.
tap.
Good
There you
boy.
go.
Good boy.
Good boy. Good boy, bud.
Good.
In your home.
Tap.
Bogey.
Tap.
In your home.
Tap, tap. It's okay. Tap. Keep
Okay.
tapping. Tap.
Here, I'm turning it down.
There
Good
we
boy,
go.
Bogey.
Good boy, Bogey. Good boy.
Good.
Yeah,
And then
when I tap him, that's when he like wants to like get to the side of
Bogey.
me.
Tap.
Bogey, in your home.
In your home.
In your home.
there you go. Good.
Good boy.
Tap.
In your home.
Good.
In
Tap.
your home.
Bogey,
Tap.
in your home. In your
Tap.
home.
Tap.
In your
Tap.
home.
Maybe you turn it up. You think it's getting him?
Yeah. Hold on.
In your home, buddy.
Tap.
Come on, Bog.
Tap.
Bogey, in your home, Bogey. In your home.
Tap. There he goes.
Good boy. Good boy.
Good boy, Bogey. Good boy. Yeah, that doesn't stay open unless I have sheets on it.
What's your number now?
9.
Okay.
Hey,
Tap.
in your home.
Tap.
Good
Good.
boy, Bogey. Good boy.
So what I'm gonna have you guys do is no sound. Because all that sound, I don't know if you guys heard it. Good boy, Bogey. No, but like all that tap. There you go. Good. Is you're stimulating him more.
Okay.
Okay. So we always want the kennel to be a calm place. And what we're getting here is a bit of confusion because we were tapping him for the aggressive response. But then he's thinking like, oh, maybe the kennel's not a safe spot, right? So we create a little bit of confusion, which is normal. So we have to keep that pressure on until he goes back in the kennel. Then once he goes back in the kennel, he wanted to come out, and we kept repeating that process until eventually when he felt the tap, did you see how he backed into the kennel now?
Yep.
So now we're putting rules on things. We're saying, 1, if you act aggressively, there's a consequence. 2, don't get confused that the kennel is not a safe place. It is a safe place. So every time he tried to sneak out, we would remote him until he would go back in again.
Okay.
Because people get concerned, they think like, oh, is this gonna make the dog not like the kennel? I go, no, because everything turns off when they're in the kennel as long as they're behaving, right? So once he understands that concept, then he's like, oh, I do want to be in the kennel. I just can't be aggressive. Okay.
Right.
So you see how he's looking towards the right there?
Yeah, he doesn't want any part of us.
Yeah, you see how he's shaking?
Yep.
Yeah, because we're putting discipline around an area that he would typically feel empowered. Okay, so he's got to deal with it some way. This is normal. This is what we call avoidance. Whenever we deal with any kind of aggressive response, we always want to see avoidance. Okay. Avoidance means the dog wants no confrontation, ideally, and this is how we start to teach him, other means of handling whatever it is. He just feels empowered. He's being territorial. He's going, this is my home. And we're saying, that is no longer a valid response. So then he has to deal with that emotion, if you will, in a healthier manner.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to have you do here is go ahead and try to close that kennel. Just be careful.
Can you?
And there you go. Okay. So you see how he didn't do anything there?
Yep.
It's because he's concerned about the situation now because, again, now there's consequence. Now we're talking his language. We're biting him for essentially trying to bite us. Okay?
Okay.
What I'm going to have you do with the flat of your hand, like the palm, is just place it around the kennel, just kind of touching and dabbing around it. And then if he becomes aggressive, you're going to just keep your hand there, and we'll start tapping to get him to back off. Go near by his head and stuff. Tap, tap, tap. Hold your hand there. Tap, tap. Keep your hand where it is. Keep your hand where it is. Right there. Is he growling?
No, but he's looking now. He's making eye contact.
Okay, so now you're going to slowly dab on the kennel. Remember, if he tries to become aggressive, the reason why we're doing the flat of your palm is so he can't get you.
Sure.
So it allows you to press his threshold, but not worry about physical harm to yourself. Okay, go ahead and go closer to above his head. Good. Try the front of the kennel. Right. Good. Now, go ahead and go to the latch, and you're slowly going to lift it up and jiggle it to see what he does. Good. Now here, you're going to slowly open, but you're not going to say anything. He's still not allowed to come out. Okay, that's good. And go ahead and step away, but stay close so that you're holding the leash, but leave the kennel door open as is. Very good. Now what you're going to do is we're going to say that word break, and you're going to give a light little tug on the leash to remove Bogey from the kennel.
All right, break.
Yep. Pull, pull, pull. Give a tap here. There he goes. Good. And we're going to repeat that process. We're going to give him a second to just kind of decompress. You can see his tail down and everything there because he's like, what the hell just happened? But this is all part of the process. You know, when it comes to aggressive responses, it's not about making the dog like the situation. It's about teaching them what's unacceptable and what's acceptable. Okay?
Right.
Unacceptable, aggressive responses. Acceptable, you go in there because I told you, and then you don't do anything that I disagree with. Okay? See how he's licking his lips and everything?
Yep.
Right there. When she was going to pet him, it's because he's really kind of, how do you say? He's thinking about his life's decisions right now, if you will. So, you know, this is a new thing for him. So now he's thinking like, holy crap, I don't have as much power around the kennel as I thought I did. But this is all part of the process.
Yeah.
So we're going to again.
Yeah.
What's Bogey's cue for the kennel?
In your home.
In your home? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to say in your home one time, no repeating. And you're just going to start tapping, and we're going to use that leash pressure to guide him back towards the kennel again.
In your home.
Tap, tap, yep, tap, that's normal. Tap, 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 good. Right. Tap, 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 yep, tap, tap, good. Right. Now slowly go to close that gate. And it's just be prepared for the response. Good. So you see how he's facing towards the back of the kennel now?
Yes, and he did growl a little bit at that time. Should I have tapped?
We can also let it slide. It's kind of sometimes in the beginning because his brain is so used to when you close the gate, I confront you.
Right.
Right. Is the brain, it has that habit. So when she went to close it, instead of going to the rah, right, he went to the
Yeah.
So you can tap it, and what we're trying to see is he goes deeper into that avoidance state. Okay. So earlier he was facing the gate but turned towards the wall, and now he's completely at the back end of the kennel with his face facing towards the back wall. You see that increase in avoidance?
Oh yeah.
Right. So if I tapped him for growling, he'd either go deeper back, or you might see him like lower his head a bit more. You're looking for some kind of de-escalated response. Okay. Or you can just practice this how we're practicing it, and we don't address the growling, and it potentially goes away by itself.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no real right or wrong. It's just how is Bogey going to proceed is what dictates how we go about that.
Okay.
We're going to repeat that hand slowly, just kind of touching on the kennel. I saw his ears flicker there for a second. Tap, tap, right? Yep.
Oops. An extra tap.
That's all right. One for good luck.
Right.
Go ahead and go further back towards where his head is if you can reach. Very good.
Yep.
And then you can go back to that latch, and you're slowly going to mess with it, you know, open and unlock and lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good. And then again, he stays in there. All right. So go ahead and drop your leash and just step out the closet, but stay within that space there, okay? All right. So can you see what we're doing here with Bogey, or like get the concept?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
So the e-collar is both a educational tool in a sense of we use it to teach him like heel and leash walking, so that he has a concept of why it turns on and then how it turns off. Okay. In this particular context, we're using it as a correctional device, and we're essentially biting Bogey for behavior that we disagree with. Okay. So
Okay.
let's say Bogey had the closet and there wasn't a kennel, okay? And another dog came to enter into that space. Bogey may bite or lunge or growl or whatever at that dog to say, this is my closet space, okay? So he's telling that dog, stay out of my space, and we have no conflict. But he's doing that on the scale of the kennel towards you and your wife, okay?
Right.
Now, if that dog really wanted that closet space and Bogey went after him, then that dog has a chance to bite back. And then it becomes a fight essentially for the closet space. And one is going to win, and Bogey may surrender the closet space, and the dog and leaves the situation, and the dog then takes over it. Or Bogey wins and the dog retreats. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're doing here is we're not so much claiming a space, we're just biting them and telling them, hey, you're not going to bully us over this anymore.
Right.
Okay. And there's two ways about this. One of them is when you send him, we're putting power behind it because it's we're making it what's the word conditional, is that the word I'm looking for?
Mandatory. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
mandatory.
like you're going in there and I better not get any conflict from you, right?
Okay.
So it's like me as a kid, my mom going, go to your room, and then me trying to protest it, and then I got spanked for protesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
then I went to my room and I lost that battle. Same kind of conversation here is I send him and I put some discipline behind it just to get it in his head. Ideally, that would fix or address the aggression so that we don't even see it in the first place. But if we still see it, then I go, okay, well then here's this consequence. And if you don't want consequence, then I better not get any lip from you. Okay.
Makes sense.
We didn't have to yell at him. We didn't have to be mean to him. You know, you're doing things normally. We did slow it down a bit for the handlers, but as you go about this, you would end up, because you wouldn't normally approach it this slow, right? But
Right.
you have to build to that normalcy, and we do slow movement to make it easier for the handler to be prepared for any aggressive responses on Bogey's behalf. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions so far?
No, is it important for us to do it in the closet, or can we do this, take the cage out where we have it's a little easier to access, or is it best?
As long as you're going to see the problem, you can do it wherever you want.
Okay.
Okay. And don't feel bad about where you place the kennel in terms of Bogey's like emotional response to it. Like he doesn't care.
Okay, because we're gonna need some closet space. We're gonna need that space back, Bogey.
Yeah.
Yeah. The critical thing, we also don't want our daughter to have any access to it at night. Like if she were to get out of bed.
For sure.
So.
For sure. I always tell everyone, all my clients, like the dog accommodates you, you don't accommodate the dog.
Okay.
Okay. So put the kennel wherever you think is best. Don't worry about like, oh, he's like in the closet down in the basement. Like it doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
And in terms of behavior, if he's going to give it to us wherever, then it doesn't matter anyways. For your daughter's safety, because this stuff is related to you, okay? And it's related to a context. And the context is at night we put Bogey in the kennel and then we see this response, right?
Right.
Let's say during the day, down the line, you know, your daughter's older, she's moving around, she's a curious toddler, and Bogey's in the kennel, and she goes and puts her hand in the kennel. That's now a different context.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where I tell all my clients, you teach your kids boundaries. One, because the way they treat and behave with their dog within the home is how they're going to treat their friends' dogs whenever they go to a friend's house. Okay. So if you teach her caution and care with Bogey, then when she goes to a friend's house and she asks for permission, again, she's using caution and care. You don't know how many times I've heard of families that let their kids climb on the dog and sleep on the dog and pull their ears. And then they go to the friend's house and they do the exact same thing, but that dog doesn't know them and they bite them.
Sure. Yeah.
So, the way I always tell my parents, that my clients that are parents, have your child ask for permission to interact with your own dog, because that's what they'll do outside of the home when you're not around. Okay.
That's a great tip.
So, as you can see, Bogey's not the greatest fan of this exercise, but that's okay.
He's still pouting in the corner.
Let me have you go ahead and revisit that gate, please.
Okay.
Closing it and fiddling with it. Yep.
I'd rather you do it.
Okay.
Good. Was there any growl there or anything?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Let's go ahead and again pat on around the kennel and stuff.
You get me to it?
Yeah. I'll hold this.
Okay. I'll hold the leash.
I'm gonna make sure you can see. Okay.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I can see his ears flinching. So at any time you get a growl or anything, best you can, or even like, the aggressive moment, you want to, as soon as you create that context, keep your hand still.
Okay.
Then you remote until he settles, and then you continue with the movement of the padding.
Got it.
So for dogs, when you hit that context where he's like, I don't like your hand in that spot, even though you tapped, it was like a split second, delay.
Right.
That your hand already moved, so you kind of eliminate or remove the context.
That makes sense.
So then I may even go in even slower with those touches. So when you get that growl, you're able to, yeah, exactly. You're more likely to keep your hand within that context, so that when you correct him, he knows that hand isn't moving, and if anybody's going to retreat or give up, it's going to be him. Very good. Go ahead and fiddle with that gate again, please. Good. Go ahead and open. And we're going to cue that break cue.
So it was no tap on the brake, or
Yeah, no tap unless he resists. No tap on the brake.
Okay.
Pull the thing a little bit and say break.
Brake.
Yep. Give a little bit of tension. Just got him out. That's good. Now, if he's out the kennel and you go to like pick it up and stuff, will he like guard it there as well, or just only on the entry?
Typically just on the entry.
Just if he's in it and we approach it, he will. But yeah, if he's out of the kennel, he doesn't really care much about it anymore.
Okay, and you see how he's very cautious in terms of how he's behaving right there?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to see. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to make it easier for yourselves, if you want to remove that kennel and set it out in the open space, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you'll still do it, then that's fine. Make it easier for everybody.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
All right. So we're going to do that same process in your home, followed by tapping and leash tension. And yeah, don't allow them in there. But yeah, exactly. You're going to cue that in your home and immediately begin tapping at that rhythm we were using earlier.
Okay. Bogey, in your home.
Good. Right. And then go to close the gate. There we go. And for you, as a like kind of tip for you guys as you practice this, one thing that you can do is if you have your shoes on when you kennel him, is I go to close the gate with my foot, because since you know your foot is covered by the shoe, you're less likely to pull your foot back, and you know the way you're making contact with the gate, you'll be less likely to pull back. You know, when it's our hands, even for me, you know, you're very likely to pull that hand back. And that's something that we do at my facility here. Whenever we close the gate, we always close it with our foot in case, you know, even if we know the dog, you know, maybe they're having a bad day or something, it's braced and they won't push the gate out, or we won't, you know, retract our foot because we know there's no means of contact. Okay.
Gotcha.
Let's go ahead and fiddle around with those pads around the cage. Tap.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Tap. Tap. Right. What's his number at now?
11.
11. Okay.
Are you tapping?
No, I'm not.
Oh, he hasn't. When you've been saying tap, he's been doing the tap on the cage,
The
not.
tap on the cage, not with the.
Oh, I see.
You want him to tap
The collar. Yeah, when I say
because
it's okay. I didn't think about that. So. Did you happen to tap him on the remote though for that?
Right. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because he's not turning away.
Yeah. So let's try
Can you
this.
say that again? It cut out.
I'm going to show you something else. Go ahead and place your hand on one spot, Nate, and just keep it there.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're on 11.
Yes.
Okay. So tap, tap, tap. Let's go to 13.
Okay.
Yep. Tap, tap, tap. 15. Yep. Tap, tap. 17.
Oh my gosh.
Tap,
Okay.
tap, tap. There, almost. Tap, tap, tap. 19.
Caden, go in your room. Okay.
Tap, tap. All right, you see that shift there? Okay, tap. Do you know what I'm trying to create here?
Well, it seems like you're trying to get him to back down, and he's.
Correct. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to turn around here. Okay.
Yeah, he is stubborn, man.
Yeah. You're at 19, correct?
Yes.
21.
Okay.
Tap. 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 Right there.
Oh.
Almost. Tap. Tap.
Okay, in your room.
Tap. Right there. See how you see? So you see how he's starting to turn?
Yep.
Yeah, but he
So
won't.
we're trying to get him to back off to the back end of the kennel, like he did on that second one that we when we sent him in, and he went all the way in the back and he was looking at the back wall.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll try a couple more taps, and then we're gonna bump it to 23. Okay, 23. Yep. Yeah, we might get some frustration here. Okay.
Okay.
Almost. 25.
Yeah, he knows he's losing.
Almost. Wait a minute. We'll try a couple more. So the screen frozen. Hey Nate, you there? There you go. All right. You're at 25 still?
Yeah.
27?
Yes.
Get in your room.
Oh.
See that?
Sorry, your screen's frozen.
Jeff?
Hello?
Okay. Yours is too, but he moved back.
Oh, there it is. Cool. All right. There we go. So
That was 27.
27. So I'm showing you a couple of things here. One is we may get just natural avoidance, like the one that we got on that second entry of the kennel. And then you can also force it, like the way we did here. And it's essentially getting him to disengage with that, with him being right at the forefront of that gate there. And he wasn't like terribly postured, but as we were going up, could you see, as we approached 27, the little glimpses of him like giving up that kind of stubbornness of holding position?
Yes.
So
yes,
that gradual increase in the levels of jumps by 2 allowed us to kind of assess what was going to be the necessary number to break that resistance. And he's only what, 8-10 pounds. Hello?
Oh, Jesse, you're breaking up a lot.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. Those increases in the just 2 levels at a time allowed us to break that without being over the top. Like we got the number that he decided like I can't posture anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways you can go about this. One is when you go to send them in there and you close it, right? So you would put your hand or your foot on the gate, and at that point, you keep tapping like we did to send them all the way back like we just created there. So if you do that each time, when you send him, he's going to go all the way to the back of the kennel, so that we're less likely to turn around and be aggressive, because you already forced the avoidance from the get-go. Okay. If you do that each time, what we should see is he goes in there and does it. Okay. The padding around and stuff like that is kind of just pressing those buttons, forcing the issue, which is we're going to touch your kennel and stuff like that, and you're not going to be a jerk about it. Okay. I don't need them to like this exercise. It's just a respect factor. You know, my mom sending me to my room, you know, I didn't like it, but it's the respect factor. Okay. So we went as high as 27. So that tells you just how stubborn he can potentially be. You know, and I've had small dogs like him go even higher. Okay. Cause it's all about this. It's not about the size. It's about this.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now the issues that we're gonna see here is the model that he's on. Do you recall if it's the mini or was it like the nano or something?
It's not the nano.
Is it the LED screen one?
Yeah.
Looks like you cut out there, Nate. Yeah, you keep cutting out. Do you have a spot with better connection? Let me send you a message. There you are. Hello? Frozen again, Nate, if you can hear me.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's
drawback to the Zooms is the connection.
Yes, it's the 280C.
Okay. So in the beginning, we're going to need to probably most likely leave that collar on.
Like overnight?
Yeah, because reaching in to remove that collar right now would not most likely bode well. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to, we can be one of two things. He cuts the crap and you're able to send him and he stops it. We don't even need to collar him up, so we don't have to even risk doing that. Or two, in the beginning, we'll have to leave it on him. The only drawback is that with the two probes, he may get a pressure sores.
Mm.
If you want, did I tell you guys about the comfort adapter?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
The comfort adapter is meant for extended wear, so that if he sleeps in it overnight, we're not worried about pressure sores.
Okay.
And we can email that to you. They run like $33 or so, and it's easy to just put on. You just unscrew the probes and screw that on. And this way you can put it on them and not worry about it with the overnight stuff. For now, for tonight shouldn't be a problem. And then what I would do is have you move it. So like if it's here tonight, I would put it on the back tomorrow, and the next day, over here or something as best you can. And then within a couple of days, you should have that new comfort pad. If he gets pressure sores, it just scabs up, the fur falls off, but it heals up and it grows right back. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we should be able to get him out. I mean, we still got his leash on him, and he wants to go outside for his bedtime business and everything. So we should be able to get him out.
But then when we put him back in though after that,
right?
And we don't want to lose what we gained tonight, right?
Right.
So we need to do it again the same way.
Right. You would reinforce. So now, like in the morning, does he have any issues when you let him out?
Nope.
No, he's a
just when he goes.
pup. Yep.
Gotcha.
During the day,
Okay.
he's fine. Yeah.
Gotcha. If you want to experiment, because it doesn't matter. Like, let's say if you want to experiment, take him out. He does his night business. You remove the collar and the leash and kennel him up and go to close it and see what he retains. Okay.
Yep.
If he has an aggressive response, don't worry about it. Don't worry about, oh my God, are we going to like regress? Because once you reinstill the discipline, it's going to be like, oh yeah, that again.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
so
Just
that,
like when we go and walk him, and he's gotten pretty good at retaining that info.
Yeah. So, but definitely, and you can do this throughout the day as well. Like, just like, even though he's not going to go in the kennel for like overnight, if there's another time where, if we try this, he will give this response, just make it like, 2 to 3 minute exercise throughout the day, a couple of times if you each did a session, and then you have your ending night session.
Yeah.
Okay. What we'll most likely do is we're going to just leave it simple with the approach that you're doing now, but we may pair in positive reinforcement as well. Okay. To just balance it out. So it's like, hey, when you act like a jerk, there's consequence. When you don't act like a jerk, there's some kind of reward. Okay. It can help speed up the process a bit. If it's no, we don't want to do that, we just want to do it this way, you can do it that way as well. But just giving something else to just kind of incentivize, don't do this instead.
Yep. Makes sense.
Any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope. I don't have any.
So repeat this every night. Okay. And then, once you get the comfort adapter, like let's say you send them in, you get that response, you don't, ignore it, and you can again use your foot to close the kennel gate so you're not worried about pulling back. Close it, and then whatever it is for what it is, and you could do that for the next couple of nights until you get that comfort adapter. Otherwise, if you want to leave the collar on so you can continue with, no, this is how it's going to be, then you can do that. Again, the worst thing that can happen is he gets a little scab, it heals up, fur grows back, and then he's fine.
Okay.
Right, and I do have a question. So when we go and do this tomorrow night, put him in, and we decide we want to make sure he's facing the back. We start like at 11 like we did tonight, and then as we force him to the back, we slowly go up 11, 13, 15, 17, or do we jump right to 27? Okay.
I would do it gradually, but I would escalate quicker.
Okay.
So it'd be like tap, tap 13, tap, tap 15, tap, tap 17, tap, tap 19, like real quick.
Okay.
And then if you always end up going to 27,
Then we know.
so many reps, right? Now, don't be surprised if one day you send him in there and you do 27 and he yips. Now that's him already getting sensitive and aware of what he's supposed to do, that you can most likely get it done with a lower number.
Okay.
Okay. So if you ever do an overhit, never feel bad about it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Because like we wouldn't be here if he wasn't doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So and we are doing our due diligence, and we took our time, right? We took about 5 minutes to make sure we hit that right number. We didn't rush to it. But we wouldn't have to do that stuff if he wasn't being aggressive over the gate.
Right.
So, because if you try to console him, like, holy crap, buddy, I'm sorry, now you just you negate yourself. You know, so like my mom, she spanked me, and it wasn't like, oh, come here, I'm sorry for spanking you. It was like, you don't want to get spanked, don't do it again.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. So
I know.
super simple. My mom gave me a lot of references for dog
She-
training, so I love her
She
for it.
trained you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Other questions?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Oh, so will this hopefully then does eliminate, like, if we get up at night and we were to walk by his cage on the way to the bathroom, he's going to get aggressive. This will probably eliminate that, but we'll just have to see and then address that if that doesn't become, if that continues to be a problem.
Right. So if that ends up happening, then we'll definitely have to leave collar on overnight.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if we know that's a potential habit, then what I would do there is, because if you get up and go to walk to the bathroom and he becomes aggressive, like, you don't want to really, sit there as you have to go to the bathroom trying to find that number.
Yeah.
Is that you can actually come in a little bit more harsher and stop it right in its tracks. I might be 35, tap, tap, and he goes, and he runs to the back of the kennel. Because I don't care about that moment, because it's just me getting up and moving, and I want to eliminate that sooner rather than later. Otherwise, you're going to spend nights, sitting or fiddling with it.
Oh, yeah.
When you want to go back, you want to go back to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think
yeah.
that opens up a lot of spots where we can keep his cage, as long as if we can walk by without him flipping out, then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's all.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Jesse, thanks, man.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, you let me know. And then I'll get you that link for the comfort pad. And take your time, practice it, whether it be a week before I see you again or what have you.
Yeah, it won't be as long in between this time.
No problem. Don't feel rushed. As we get into this, it's pretty straightforward once you understand the concept.
Okay. All right, sounds good. This was really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was good to see everybody again. And then if you have any questions, just let me know.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
Take care.
Yes.